Dublin Stars in the Vera. We're not in Dublin today, we are in Limerick at the Pellador pop-up. I'm exclusively hidden away in the studio. We are with one of the masterminds, one of the ingenious designers for Pellador. We're with Dewey. How you feeling today, brother?
Doing well. Welcome. We're in the lofty heights of Pellador Towers, in the city centre of Limerick City.
Nobody gets access to this. Forbes can't get in here, the Times can't get in here, fucking no one else can get here, and only I can be here, so that's why I'm Dublin's hottest.
We don't let people in because I don't know if you can see on the camera, but it's like a bleeding bomb hit it in here. It's an absolute shithole at the moment. We had a pop-up all day today, so.
No one else sees all this. No one else gets the access, only me. But anyway, Dewey, thank you so much for having me, my brother. Thank you, absolute pleasure. We're going to get into the questions. So, you've already worked on Spring 2026, right? Can we get an exclusive insight as to what we can expect? What kind of designs are we looking at? What kind of styles are we going into?
Stuff going future. So, for our winter collections coming out now or into the future? I think like our winter collection coming out now, you would have saw in the show, the last show that we had. In the future, we kind of want to have more confidence in ourselves as designers. I think a lot less of looking back at what other designers have done, or maybe kind of like other Irish history tokens, and instead creating a visual language for ourselves. So what does the future of Irish design looks like? So that's a big inspiration for us, is like, what is the visual language of Irish design, and what does the future of Irish design look like? Okay. So that's a big thing for us.
That was a fucking very good answer, bro. What the hell? You're a media trainer, man. What the hell?
Oh, we should be thinking about it, yeah.
No, it's good. That's what we need, though. We need people that are actually thinking about what they're doing and what they're putting out. So fantastic, bro. Brilliant. So you had your autumn winter collection from 2025 that was massive focus on technical wear and the Irish weather. Did it feel a bit alien to go into that kind of sort of territory? Because you guys were obviously sort of your knit and your football style. Was it kind of strange going into that kind of realm?
Kinda. I mean, like, we've always had lofty goals, you know. Like when I joined full time with Greg, you know, we knew we had lofty goals of what we wanted to achieve. Yeah. So they were always the goals, you know, and you just have to build up to the point where you had the ability to do that. And we had Michal in with us, who's a designer with us, and he was working with Reigns and then came with us, and you know, he made that sort of stuff achievable. He was killing the game at Reigns, and then he came over and he's designing with us now. So as you know, it takes a team to do everything, and he is the tech wear stuff, like, you know. So the tracksuit we're wearing now, that's all, like, that's Michal's language. Yeah. I think that's a great thing. Like, between the bits, you can kind of see which designer was the heavy part of it. Obviously, there's a bit of all of us and all of them, but you can kind of tell whose language is what, you know. And Michal is definitely like that part, the tech wear.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well done, man. I know you found it while you were studying Celtic and anthology, right? But can you tell the people the significance of the Tina or the Trinino?
I mean, like, so that's kind of what we were talking about, you know what I mean? It's just like Irish heritage, you know, and Irish culture. Like, I made that logo before I was working for Pellador, just as like a little collab, and I actually never knew how much legs. I don't think any of us knew at the time how much legs it would have and how far it would go. Yeah, I think it's a funny kind of symbology now. Like, people who have like Triskel tattoos and all, do you know what I mean? To be sending me pictures being like, and I was like, you know, that's not like, you know what I mean? So that's, I think it's important that like we kind of move away from that a bit. It's important to us, like, it's what it truly is to be Irish. So I think what I was really proud of in the last collection is like the fuchsia stuff, you know? Because I really sat and I was like, what is the actual mundane parts of being Irish, you know? When I think of like what it is to be Irish, like, and it was like, there was a fuchsia tree in my nanny's garden. I always think of fuchsias and then like eating them, honeysuckles, and then like people, I went to Kerry before, down in Valentia Island, and there was a massive fuchsia bush, and I was like, that's crazy. And then the more research I did into it, they actually come from Germany, but I just think it's just such a mundane Irish thing. Another thing I think of is like an elf walking a dog, big, a baldy elf. I think when
the dog t-shirt came
that's where the dog applicates. That's where that's the main too. A little Jack Russell. It's always a big fat elf. I think it's usually they never married or their wives die, and then they get a little Jack Russell, and the Jack Russell's kind of just as big as them, and the two of them to be wobbling around the place. And I just love that. And I just like, no, I just love that, and I was like, what is? And so I think I'm more interested in that now, of the like the mundanities of what it is to be Irish, so that something that truly Irish people will resonate with. And then, you know, also if it looks visually nice and people from other countries want to wear it, you know, that's great cool, as well. Course, you know, so that's the idea behind that.
Brilliant, man, brilliant. So one thing I love about the brand is that you guys have such a strong focus on doing collaboration. You've worked with Gliders, Rashid, Guinness, AVA. There's been so many in the pipeline. Is there any collaborations that you would love, or you and Greg might have spoken about, that you want to see in the future?
The obvious ones are like, you know, big heritage sportswear brands. We're kind of trying to move away a little bit from collabs and just kind of focus on our own stuff for a while. Oh, I'd love to do silly stuff, do you know what I mean? Stuff that you wouldn't expect. Like, interesting people have reached out to us for collabs.
Silly in the sense of something you guys wouldn't normally make, or just something outlandish that you probably would make, but just bringing it to a new height.
Yeah, something outlandish, like, do you know what I mean? Even because like I was like, I'd love to design like lifestyle stuff. I tried to design a plushie for the fuchsia, so I tried to make a little fuchsia plushie. It's in the room here somewhere, but it's hard. It was hard to make and hard to do. So like, I'd love to collab with like a little toy brand or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that.
The big thing I learned was that, especially we worked with Type, the girls for Type, like best designers ever, absolutely amazing. And to go to their studios and learn how they design and how they think about stuff was absolutely amazing. We learned so much from that. And so I'd love to go to different designers and different thinkers. So like a toy manufacturer, like how do you go about about designing a toy, and like, what did it be at? And then you get to make a little silly toy out of it at the end. I did a little fidget spinner. I got this little football fidget spinner. So this is a little nonsense thing like that, do you know what I mean? Like, so yeah, that's what I love.
A little peanut.
Yeah, do you know what? I was trying to design a key ring that had a peanut spin on it. It might be coming soon. We're trying to work.
Exclusive stuff. Nobody else guesses. I'm telling you that. Nobody guesses. You heard it here first. Brilliant, man. Fantastic. On the realm of collabs, right? What would mean more to you? A Pats collab or an Everton collab?
Oh, tough question. Pats, obviously.
Pats, yeah.
100% St. Pats.
Keep it on
100% St. Pats. Yeah, man, I'm Inchy Car. Like, Pats is Inchy Car. I grew up Pats. That was me life as Pats. Pats is Inchy Car. And like, they're a real club. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, if you look at like the history of Pats, like they're Rovers have the most money and they win everything. You know, Bows are the ones that everybody wants to support. Pats are the real club. Like, do you know what I mean? And it's a true community club. I remember when we beat Bows in the last 2 FAI Cup finals, and we were in the away end both times. And I looked around and like people who went to the school, people I grew up beside, all there. I was like, this is Inchy Car around me, and that's the most important thing to me. So that's a community, the sense of community. When I go back to the matches now and I just look around, I'm like Richmond Park, I see all my family there, I see everything, I'm like, that's everything. Do you know what I mean? So 110% Pats.
I know you're a DJ. We've spoken about that before. I've heard you're quite the comedian as well. But the crowd didn't see the vision where a certain blind joke you might have made about some blind kids. Was that your last ever stab at comedy, or you will when the clothes take off and you make the millions, you go back to comedy?
Do you know, I know where you got this story from as well. It's that sometimes I get, when I was DJing for certain rappers, they put me on the spot and tell me to tell a joke, and I told a joke, and I still stand by that joke. I think it was funny, and it wasn't even a joke, it was a true story that actually happened. I'm my biggest fan when it comes to comedy.
As you should be,
I tell big winding jokes for myself, do you know what I mean? And if anybody else happens to find it funny, that's good crack as well.
That's a bonus.
Yeah. Do you want to hear the joke?
Go on, I might even cut this out. I want to hear this.
Well, it's not a joke, it's a story. It actually happened. It was a district gig, I think. It was in Hen's Teeth, and it was Little Skag. I was DJing for him. Done the train journey down, where everybody in my train car was deaf. They were all deaf. And I was like, what's going on? It's like a big deaf people's convention or something. And there was one woman, she was up in the carriage, and when she talked to everybody, she'd like sign and everybody paying attention. And then this outfit was walking through, and he was like, what's going on here, John? What's going on? And she was like, oh, we've been invited down to Coldplay. Should they give out free tickets to people every year? And I was like, that's kind of mad. I was like, just like kind of eavesdropping, you know? Yeah. I was like, that's kind of mad. And he was talking away, and he was like, oh, they give you good seats. And she goes, no, we're actually up in the nosebleeds. And I was like, that's mad. I was like, they won't be able to see them, and they won't be able to hear them. Right? I said that, and that's genuinely what I thought, right? I said that at the gig, right? I said that at the gig, and the room went quiet.
Yeah, fucking obviously, bro.
The room went dead quiet, right? And then one person just went, oh. And Sean just looked at me like, what are you doing?
That is funny, though. That is funny. I don't give a fuck what that room said. Well, they didn't say Anne, but... Obviously, Pellador has become quite the stereotype and the trope for the Jury Street merchants and whatnot. What do you and the lads and the team of Pellador think about that whole kind of thing?
That's funny. Like, I think everybody's on Jury Street is self-aware. I think that it's a meme within a meme. Do you know what I mean? We'd love to have a shop in around, like, the boys in Emporium, like, they slap that, you know what I mean? That's class. Unfortunately, I don't live in Dublin anymore. I live in Limerick. Anytime we go to Grogan's, we sit outside and then you see fucking everybody, you know what I mean? So it's nice to have that. Anytime we see any of our stuff in the meme, we're fucking cracking up. We love getting ripped out of it. We love...
Giovanni smokes, bro. R.I.P. Tail Cock, man.
Yeah.
Always show stuff out, and
it's always funny.
It's always funny.
And we tried to take the piss out of ourselves. Like, we did the Pellador jumper thing, do you know what I mean? And we had more funny stuff that just didn't arrive in time, but we love taking the piss out of ourselves. We'd be the first to slag ourselves. We're the first to be aware of that. And I think everybody on Jury Street is the same, do you know what I mean? And I think that's also why it's deadly designing in Ireland and staying in Ireland, because it's a bit of fucking crack, you know what I mean? It's a bit of silliness. That's how everything goes.
Mystery,
if you're popular, that's how things go, do you know what I mean? And I think it's important, that's why it's important to always change, do you know what I mean? Like, never be moving, like, we always never rest on our laurels, keep pushing forward. And that's exciting. And then, like, you know, everybody's doing that, do you know what I mean? Like, so.
Back to Pellador, we have my last question for you, my brother. Out of all the pieces you've designed over the couple of years you've been working with Pellador, what is your personal favourite, and what does it hold a special place in your heart?
The one I'm wearing right now, actually, this one, The Game Is Gone, has significant meaning. Like this graphic here. Because when I first started going full time with Greg, Pellador at the time was like all the Ireland jumpers, all the Ireland knits and stuff, and I wanted to kind of like push it forward and taking risks and doing new designs. And so this was kind of a big metal exploding goal. And I just had it in my head. I was like, I'm gonna come in here as a designer, I'm gonna change it, and then people are gonna be like, fuck, Pellador, it's changed, like, do you know what I mean? It's gone different. And I was like, they're gonna start giving out about it. So I was like, they're like outfits in the pub, and I was like, do you know what I mean? They're gonna be like, the game is gone. So that was it was Seth Rental about the thing, and then I just love that graphic, you know what I mean? It's my bleeding desktop screensaver now. Because I'm a graphic designer, like, you know, so often the stuff I design is quite vibrant and quite like out there. And it's not very wearable a lot of the time. So it's like this one I'm wearing now, Jazzy wore it if Jazzy watches this video, gear up. But Jazzy wore that in our single and our music video, and I was fucking delighted with that. I was wondering, that was chuffed. Do you know what I mean? That was a dream for me. So people who wear it, anytime people wear the stuff, it's always real cool people, and it's always people respect, and I love that. Do you know what I mean? Because obviously it means I'm doing like what I like, and then they're saying it the same way. So
banging, bro, banging. Nah, it's cool, man. Brilliant. That was your last main question. Thank you so much for answering. That was brilliant. Fucking gas, bro. That joke is fucking. Right, we'll do a quick fire questions. Just answer open and honestly. Don't think too hard about these. Just go, right? Right. Do you prefer the summer or the winter time?
Summer, definitely.
Where's your dream holiday destination?
Me and my mates have been doing this thing, sorry, this is quick for it, but me and my mates have been doing this thing where we go to like Scaldi City and then we go to a football match. So we done Marseille and we done Napoli. And then we're thinking of the next, if anybody's recommendations to places to go in Germany, good football club to see. So
what is the worst county in Ireland?
You know what, like I'm gonna hate for this, man, but fucking people in Cork wreck my head. I love Cork and I love the city and I love the people, but they let you know about it, and I can't go anywhere without people commenting on me Dublin accent. It's like
I mean you, bro. I can't understand what you're saying, bro.
Just get hate, and do you know what I mean?
Give me a break.
Where it's just like everybody else in Ireland sound lovely and all has their loveliness. Where it's just like I go to Cork and people feel like it's okay to give me grief. I'm sorry that we talk how I talk. I went down like I go and order a Guinness and he's like, you can't have a Guinness. I'm like, what are you on about? That wrecks my head.
That's discrimination, bro. They know racism.
You're like, you have a Beamish. I'm like, right. And I was on a date as well, so I was just like, she was from Cork as well. I was just like, alright, yeah.
What's your favourite thing to cook or to bake?
In between, I make a really good shepherd's pie. Love doing that, do you know what I mean? And then I do love baking. I got big into sourdough during COVID, and I'd love to get back in again, but it takes a lot of time. So I love to bake bread, yeah.
What is an underrated brand in Ireland that you want people to show a bit more love to?
It's hard because I think a lot of the stuff is rated. There's like cool designers who I went to in LCD, like Anya King. I think her stuff is fucking class. Like she's doing really daddy stuff. I think there's a lot of great talent coming out of LCD. Do you know what I mean? Some really cool stuff.
That's propaganda because you went there.
Yeah, but I think all the other brands I fuck with, like Seek and Judy, like Rain, like they're all rated. Do you know what I mean? People know how good they are. So obviously, like it's class. Do you know what I mean?
Obviously, you're a DJ from back in the day, even till now. If you could do a back-to-back set with any DJ in the world, who would you pick?
Oh,
this is a toughie now.
That is a toughie, yeah. It'd have to be someone silly. Like, I love the likes of like a Techie Latex is like my favourite because you'll just play anything. I think if I picked someone like that, I'd be shitting myself and I'd play a shy set. Do you know what I mean? Because I'd be so terrified at how good they are. I remember I did my first back-to-back with Rory Sweeney and I was like,
oh, that's fucking...
Do you know what I mean? I was like, the fucking godfather, do you know what I mean? Then he's the best to do it because he's so silly. Or then I'd just be like, I'm just going to play it to the fuck I want anyway, and then it's just two of us absolutely taking the piss, do you know what I mean? Sorry for anybody who had to listen to it.
No, fucking banging though, brilliant. Last one, right? What is something or someone you're extremely grateful for at the moment?
Oh, me ma. Who was raised by a single mother in Inchicore. My ma did absolutely everything to raise me, and she was young and she fucking was working hard and she had 3 kids. So I wouldn't be here without me ma. So absolutely me ma. Yeah, absolutely me ma. Do you know what I mean?
That was the end of your quickfire sections, bro. Last thing for you, my brother. What can the people expect from Pellador? You said you have a lot of futuristic thinking designs. You guys are obviously smashing. You've done an absolutely fantastic job over the last 3 years. It's been absolutely inspiring to see. People like me are inspired by this. You're inspiring hundreds of thousands of other designers around. What's the message you want to push forward, and what can people expect?
Yeah, just keep doing it. You don't have to move away to do it. You can stay in Ireland. You stay in Ireland and design. Stay in Ireland and like taking care of each other. I think working with different people to be trying to pushing the boundaries of what design is, to be pushing the boundaries of what we can do. More shows, more silliness. Hopefully, like more stuff, like more technical stuff, more women's wear. Do you know what I mean? It's all
another Roy Keane. Are we seeing that?
Little
song.
I come that far now. More futures.
More futures. Brilliant, man. Dude, thank you so much, my brother.
Thank you, bro.
I know you're sorry, your hands fucked aside. You're grand. No, you're grand. Thank you so much, but that's it, bro. Bro, thank you so much, man. That's fucking.
Try giving me reasons to stop.